And hello, everyone. Greg here again with Author Talk Short. Of course, I almost said my show. Well, what do you figure? It's been a long day. But Amy, again, just to let you know, she wishes she could be here, but her and her family are doing Thanksgiving with her husband's family today, and then they'll be with hers tomorrow. I am kind of still a little bit jealous that she gets two Thanksgiving dinners, but hey, we all get leftovers. But what can I say? But we're here again for the 12 days of page turners, which starts December 1st and goes through December 12th. And we are here with W.L. Hawkin, who will be on December 8th at 7 p.m. And I have to ask you, your book that you're going to be representing for the show is To Kill a King. Can you tell us what inspired you to write that?
Oh, sure, I can. I'm really fascinated by different cultures and why people are interested in different cultures. This one in particular came about because have you ever seen the National Geographic photos of the mummified fist of one of those bog bodies in Ireland?
Mm-hmm.
Like his fist is up like this. Whoops, there, it's a camera. And you can just see the arm and the fist and the manicured nails and everything. And I was looking through a National Geographic one night and I saw that and it just spoke to me, which I know sounds really morbid, but honestly, I was like, what happened to this guy? And because they said he had been ritually murdered, I wanted to know why someone would do that to him. I mean, he's in the National Museum in Ireland, and like it's basically his torso. So the head is gone and the body from the belly button down is gone. So his flattened torso and his arms and hands are there, which completely fascinated me. And also that he's still wearing a leather armband with copper mounts on it. Like for some reason that survived. So that's what's inspired it. And because I had a character who is an archaeologist, it was a great lead in to being able to have her go there and actually tell his story. She becomes part of his story. So that's kind of where that started.
Now, on something like that, you would have to do a lot of research.
Tons of research.
Can I ask how you got through all that research? Did you know an archaeologist, or did you have to actually read up on a lot of that?
I've actually studied some archaeology, and I have a BA in Indigenous Studies, so that's another passion of mine is the past and archaeology. But for this in particular, I went to Ireland by myself. I went to Dublin and stayed in Trinity College for about a week, just all alone in the summer. And I spent about like every day, I went to the village, the museum, and I sat with him, his body, and just kind of waited to see what would happen there, which was pretty amazing. And he did, after a few days, I kind of heard this like burbled kind of R sound. And so I ended up calling him Rory McNea. Yeah, and it's from 200 BC. So there really is nothing that we can, other than archaeology and the myths, that we can use. There's a couple of books, but really there's not a lot. But at the museum in Ireland, Dr. Eamon Kelly is an archaeologist there who worked on Rory McNea, and he said it's basically what they call ritual sacrifice. So there's an entire exhibit called Kingship and Sacrifice there, and he's a big part of that. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah.
Well, for sure. Now, I would ask a little bit more about the book, but you actually have a book trailer that I am going to show here pretty quickly. Share screen. And window. There we go. I think that's it. Of course, that could be the wrong one, but we'll try. I'll just do the entire screen. Nope. Window.
Oh, anticipation.
Yes. There we go. And hopefully this is playing.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
Nope.
Not good. Okay. And for some reason, my sound is not going through. That's not good. Try one more time. Like that. Click on that. Go to that. And see if the sound comes in now. Because it's blasting in my ears.
Oh.
And just in case nobody could hear that, I'm actually going to share it so everybody can listen to it.
That's great. Thank you.
And sorry about that if y'all couldn't hear it.
I couldn't, but I don't know what's going on, later. So, yeah.
I'm hearing a background here. There we go. Get rid of it all.
You said that you had some YouTube open still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close that.
Yeah. I like making trailers. They're lots of fun. And I just actually started making trailers about a month ago. And I just sat down and made trailers for all my books. So this one is book 4 in this particular Hollystone mystery series, but it is a standalone. And yet all of the books are standalone. Some people read them from 1 to 4. I've had people read them from 4 to 1, which is kind of fun, and go backwards. The whole story's there, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
That is interesting because 4 books, I guess, would you say it's like a series in, or?
It's kind of more like what I think a serial, because it follows this one particular, we saw his face there, Estrada, who is a Gothic magician and a high priest, right? A high priest for a Wicca coven. And so he goes through all the books trying to save his family and friends and sort out his own messy personal life. And because everybody falls in love with him, he's just that guy. So as you see there, he has a close call with a wicked crow queen. But yeah, it was a really interesting book to write. So I did a ton of research in 2017, and actually, while I was in Ireland, I was feeling not well. I was going through a real problem with I'm sensitive to chemicals, and I kept going into Airbnbs where they had like Glade plugins and fabric softener and all that stuff, and it was setting off my nervous system, and I was quite sick, and I ended up going and putting a cloudy on the Hill of Tara on a tree there, which is a fairly significant Celtic place, the Hill of Tara, and asking for help because I didn't know what I was going to do. When you're all by yourself in a strange country and you don't know anybody, it's kind of unnerving, and especially if you're not feeling well. Yeah.
I can definitely see that, especially like you said, being in a different country,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you never know what the effects could be from.
No, well, I know one night I was kind of leaning outside the window, like trying to get fresh air because I was in this very fabric softenered house. And, I thought I'm going to have to call emergency. I'm going to have to call 911 because I was really feeling like my tongue was swelling up and all of that stuff.
Ooh.
So this was kind of some painful research, but also some wonderful research. Like after my daughter came and met me, we went to Croghan Hill, which is one of the ritual hills in Ireland where this particular king was inaugurated and where he was executed. And so we climbed through a cow pasture and followed the trail up and went to the top of the hill because I wanted to see what he could see when he was standing up there. And that really formed a lot of the book, is the personal experiences with him.
Mm-hmm.
It became very real. And yeah.
And you actually, the visual from just seeing what he could, that gives you a lot of the effects. And back to, I know you'd have to imagine what it would have looked like back then, because maybe not as many, like I said, I don't know if you're on a cliff looking over into the water or.
It's actually quite different. And because I'm writing book 5 right now, so this the book 4, this is the one, The Kill a King, is a time travel book. But in book 5, they've just come back through the wormhole into this time. And it's so different because the forests are gone. The fort's gone, the forests are gone, and there's peat mining going on. So a lot of the earth is around Croghan, because it's the Midlands in Ireland, has been mined for peat. And you see these black striations all through the earth where, they've just taken the peat out of it. So it's a very different place than what it would have been like 2,000 years ago. Yeah. But the interesting thing for me too is that Rory McNeil, the body, when they were able to measure out the body with his hands and everything, they said he was 6'6", which to me was super striking. And he was about in his mid-20s at the time that he was executed. And also he, I made him have like the hair that goes like a giant mohawk that's all like crusted up like this with pine resin, because they did that. They actually put their hair up and they shaved the sides and they made these incredible hairstyles and everything. So it was a lot of fun to visualize him and create him and, see what happened to him.
That also goes back to the research. So you definitely had a lot of research that you did.
A lot of research. That's what I was saying. When I came back in 2017, I was feeling so like, terrible after feeling sick there, that I actually let that all stew for 2 years. And then because I'm an intuitive writer, once I had all the research and they started talking to me, I just sat down and wrote the whole thing and just said, what happens now? What happens now? And they told me the story. So once it started to flow, it was good because I had all the background already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be on December 8th, and that starts at 7 p.m. And again, 12 days of page turners. It goes from December 1st through December 12th.
Yeah.
And December 12th is going to be when all the authors come on the show to talk about their books for a little bit of time. But December 8th, you'll be able to talk a little bit more about your book, and you'll also be able to tell us about the special. But is there a hint you can give us for the special that you have coming up?
I absolutely can. I can tell you, I often put my ebooks on special anyway around special nature celebrations or whatever. And winter solstice is coming, which is a big thing for me. And so it's going to be, my ebook's going to be $199 from December 7th until the day after solstice. But I'll tell you something else that's really interesting just quickly. Is right now I was checking this book on Amazon, and Amazon arbitrarily does things like change the price of things. And so I had just got an email from Dave Chesson talking about scammers and Amazon and your paperbacks and how they're, taking your paperbacks and putting out these horrible things and charging less money. And then I checked all my books, and this book is right now on Amazon.com in the States, $7.16. And I said, what? Why is that? So, I mean, guys, that's a good deal. I'm going to tell you right now, $7.16 for a paperback is a really good deal. And
yes,
so
it is.
I emailed them and said, what's going on? Because I thought maybe it was a scammer. And it's just like, oh, no, we just decide every once in a while, like, we're going to do this. So I thought, okay, well, at least it fits with my promo for the 12 days of Christmas. So if you're not an ebook reader, you can go and buy the print book.
Now, where can people find you also? Do you have a website or?
I do. I am bluehavenpress.com.
Bluehavenpress.com.
Yeah.
Let's see. That out real quick.
Yeah.
There we go. And I'll print it up for everybody.
That's right. And actually you can, if you go to YouTube, all my trailers are on there, and you can, play around with watching the other trailers for the books, get an idea where it's going.
Very cool. Now, again, like I said, you'll be on December 8th. And I do think that it's pretty cool that you're waiting until the solstice, because if I'm correct, that should be December 23rd.
22nd.
22nd?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it'll be on probably till the 23rd. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
I know about that stuff.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I love that stuff. I mean, when you write a Coven of Witches, you need to know all of that stuff, right? That's just, it's kind of part way how I live, so it works out really well.
And look forward to seeing your show on December 8th and on December 12th. But until then, everyone, I want to thank y'all for joining the show, and I'd like to thank W.L. Hawkin for being on the show today. And we will talk to everyone later. And I don't know when her next short is going to be, so probably Friday, but I don't want to make any promises. But until then, everyone, you'll catch me on doing my show on Friday.